Hello, this is Video Game Growing Pains here, and before we actually start the video proper, I just want to let everybody know that I got fucking botted by YouTube's stupid-ass bullcrap content ID system. I'm not even monetizing the videos. Why did I get botted? Well, because TV Tokyo is a pile of ass, alongside Sega. They don't like me using clips of Fairy Tail or Bayonetta, so I've tried a few workarounds. Everything's going to be a little mirrored here. Pretty much goes without saying. That is why things look so weird. I'm going to try and get this fucking video back up on YouTube, and we will see if this fucking shit keeps happening. Frankly, this puts me off wanting to do a lot of more videos, because I can try and make my videos flashier, but the thing is, what's the goddamn point if people are just going to fucking content ID claim it? The thing is, it's not even fucking TV Tokyo. They don't even have the fucking balls to come out and say, yeah, you shouldn't do this. No, they get a freaking robot to do it for them. Robots are stupid. Anyway, so I'm gonna see if my new video, gets flagged, and if it does, then fuck, I don't know. Maybe I'll just turn everything black if I can. All right, well, Video Game Growing Pains signing out. Hope you'll see the video that's supposed to be in just a second. Alright, hello everyone. This is Video Game Growing Pains. Today we're not talking about video games, actually. While it may surprise some of you, no, it really won't. I happen to be a fan of anime and manga. I'll give you a moment to collect yourselves. But I'm not what you might call the typical fan, I guess. There's a lot of things about the series that I just can't stand. And one of them happens to actually be fan service. So I want to actually talk a little bit about storytelling and why fan service in anime, manga, video games, and movies is kind of the death of storytelling. Okay? I want to use a few examples here. The first one is Fairy Tail. I've been a big fan of the Fairy Tail anime for a while. It's got beautiful visuals, an incredible soundtrack, and a very talented voice cast. And I've felt the same way about the manga. Problem: the manga artist for Fairy Tail loves his pinup shots, and I don't mean outside of the series. He loves putting every woman, underage or not, into scantily clad, sometimes naked outfits. Loves dissolving their clothes. Loves doing an incredibly, bullshitty things with these women. Which is a shame because the series has a lot of good potential. The characters are interesting, quirky, have a lot of power and unique abilities to them, and the artist and writer has shown that he can be capable of telling some truly moving stories. Let me take the last two chapters as good examples here. In 2 weeks ago, in the previous chapter, we have Natsu Dragneel, the main character, going on sort of a journey to discover himself and become stronger. And he meets up with another character named Gildarts, who is occasionally like a father figure to him. There's no dialogue for the entire chapter. It's all done through imagery and pantomime, and we get to see the bond they share, how they've grown stronger and closer together, and a little wacky humor based on their own personality quirks. Fast forward to this week's chapter. What do we start with? Lucy Hartfilia, the very attractive blonde woman who is the heroine of the series, naked in the shower. And then a gravure model. And then having her clothes melted away. Oh, god damn it. Do you see the problem we have here? Lucy Artfilia, for those not aware, is a very intelligent, very down-to-earth, very much like the straight man of the group, character, who is not only smart, funny, bitingly straight man in regards to Natsu and the other characters' antics, but also, despite not being that powerful, very compelling as a character because she tries hard and relies on the strength of others, but is in many ways the paladin, the rallying point for the entire cast. And she gets the worst of it. She is bereft of her clothes so much for humor, for weird, stupid power situations. At one point, a dragon is introduced, and his breath ability is the ability to melt away people's clothes. So naturally, the first person he melts the clothes off of is the busty blonde who's supposed to be our capable female heroine. You have a problem, Fairy Tail. You see, it's hard to take Lucy or Urza Scarlet, the, finger quote, strongest character in the series, seriously when you keep throwing them in bondage dungeons, or bereft of clothes, or when you just love showing off TNA. And I hate that. because I want to like this series. I was at one point thinking about giving up this series because they literally have one of the characters naked, locked in a bondage dungeon, being tortured for no other reason than because the artist wanted to draw the woman naked. I mean, because it is a Shonen Jump title, it's not Shonen Jump, but it's in that line, they don't show overt nudity. But good God, does he want to. The only reason I can tell the fairy tale artist doesn't actually draw hentai is because he doesn't pay well enough. Let me tell you about a few other stories. One Piece, great example. We have a lot of different female characters. One Piece has fan service, yes. It's annoying. It's annoying when you have the bouncing breasts, or when you have someone like Boa Hancock, who's, you know, the most beautiful character of all, acting orgasmic just because someone winked at her. It's complicated. But at the same time, it doesn't obstruct the story because it's so sparse, so few and far between. It happens, it's done, we don't dwell on it, we move on. And One Piece's story, while stupid at times, leaves us with the characters being compelling. The women aren't reduced to joke characters. They aren't, we find that we can still believe they're tough and capable, even with those moments. Now let's talk about Toriko. I love Toriko, both the manga and the anime. Why do I love Toriko? Because it's one of the least sexist manga I have ever read. We don't get as many female characters. I'm going to say that right off the bat. The main cast is 4 super powerful, male hunters. But we do have a few female characters. You know what they don't do in this? TNA. They don't do fan service. The most prominent character, Rin, proposed to marry Toriko and he accepted. That's progressive. She dresses in, I wouldn't say, a business suit, but she dresses in an outfit that's sensible. Doesn't show off all of her curves and angles. Thing is, she's also got short hair. She's a tomboy character. The other characters we have who are female, occasionally they'll dress a little lighter, maybe if they're going to a hot environment, but they dress in business suits, or they dress in stuff that, fits their theme. And the characters are much more compelling because of it. And the story, which is an action-packed thrill ride that celebrates the joy of food, is incredibly enjoyable because of that. Fan service is the death of storytelling because it denigrates and takes away from the characters we love and interrupts the story we're trying to experience. I'm not saying that you have to make your manga, anime, movie, etc. completely sanitized, though. Kill la Kill. I love Kill la Kill. And it's one of the most sexual anime you will ever see. But the thing is, you can't really have fan service in an anime that is entirely fan service, that just lets the skin fly. And really, I don't even know if you would call it fan service. Why? They don't really draw attention to it that much. The reason that a lot of the skin scenes are there are to further the characters. The creepiness of the main villain, the vulnerability of the rival, the, overt idiocy of the tropes of fan service throughout anime. It's meant to actually make commentary and make the characters more interesting. And it does so. And more than that, it's actually meant to be equal opportunity. Both men and women are in the buff in that series. And it doesn't get in the way as much. You don't have to have a sanitized, no nudity clause in your contract to make a story. But for God's sake, have a point if you're doing it. Bayonetta, another good example. Bayonetta is a character who embraces her sexuality fully. I'm not going to say the series isn't sexist, because we do have a lot of the camera shots, just like in anime and manga, just panning over that ass and those breasts. But at the same time, she just sort of revels in it. It gives her a sort of power because she doesn't take crap from people, and she enjoys being sexual. And while the fan service can get in the way of that, it's not shoehorned in there. We don't have a character who is, a prude getting pants because it's wacky and funny and hot. No, Bayonetta just, she loves being sexual. And yeah, you can say that that's sexist. You're fully welcome to say that that's sexist. But at the same time, it doesn't interrupt the story. Bayonetta is still cracking wise, still enjoying what she does, beating up angels and demons alike. And it's actually builds on her character. This is one of the things I hate about a lot of fan service movies. Things like, maybe Sucker Punch. Or any of the TV series or video games we get which are full of fan service, like DOA Beach Volleyball. You like them? cool. That's your prerogative. But for me, it's the death of storytelling. We don't get to grow our characters because the characters keep getting denigrated. They're the butt of jokes in these series. And I hate that. Lucy Hartfilia, for example, in Fairy Tail. She is awesome. She's amazing. She has so much talent and potential and is able to do so many things. Yet they constantly love throwing her in miniskirts and having either the upskirt shots or something sexual happen. They had an entire episode of Fairy Tail in the manga dedicated to putting women in bikinis. Yeah, really. Why would you do this if you're trying to tell a serious story? And the thing is, I don't think they are. If you want to be Masamune Shiro and just make porn, fine. You know, I don't care if you make porn, but don't try and act like you're telling a legitimate story. If you want to make a sexy story, fine. If you want to make a story that uses sexuality, fine. But don't give us this straight man comedy story where we're supposed to be taking these characters, seriously and growing them, and then throwing in needless fan service. It's pointless. It's not necessary. And it's more than that, it's distracting and annoying to the fans who, frankly, just want to see these characters they love grow. Fan service is not needed for good storytelling. If anything, it kills good storytelling. I would say, everyone, be a bit more aware of the fan service you see. Because real fan service, it doesn't grow the story. You can tell me that someone's, showing sexualized imagery, but if it grows the story, or if it, gives our characters what they need to keep going, whatever, good. I don't think that there is any reason for Lucy Hartfilia to be naked just because her partner, Natsu, comes up and starts turning up the heat. Yeah, no. Anyway, this is Video Game Growing Pains, and we're going back to Final Fantasy soon, I promise. Till next time.